Welcome back. Today, we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving into the world of copper wheat pennies, coins that could potentially make you a millionaire. Let's begin by looking at the coin itself. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. But what makes the one without a mint mark, especially in rusty condition, particularly intriguing to collectors? Let's explore all of its features, history, and value. The 1945 Lincoln penny was minted in large numbers. In fact, more than 1.1 billion of these pennies were struck that year. However, here's the key distinction. The 1945 coin without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia, the only mint at the time that didn't use a mint mark to signify its production location. Now, while 1.1 billion sounds like a lot of coins, the ones that survive today, especially in rusty or worn conditions, are far fewer. When you consider how many pennies were circulated lost or damaged over time, it's easy to see why a coin in any kind of decent condition is harder to find. And when we talk about rust or corrosion, that can drastically affect the coin's aesthetic appeal, but doesn't always diminish its market value, especially in the case of rare issues. Now, let's talk about the big question. How much is this coin worth in today's market, especially in rusty condition? Though it might seem counterintuitive, the 1945 Lincoln penny without a mint mark can still fetch quite a bit of money at auction, even in less than perfect conditions. A penny that's rusted or has visible corrosion is often sold at a higher price compared to those in pristine condition. But don't be fooled. Some of these coins, despite their rust, are still extremely sought after by collectors. In 2021, a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in fair to good condition sold for anywhere between $30,000 depending on the rust and the coin's overall state. Coins that have been maintained or cleaned, showing less wear and rust, can reach upwards of $40,000. But here's the interesting part. A rusty 1945 Lincoln without a mint mark could still command more money if it has unique error characteristics or a particularly rare die variety. Coins in poor or fair condition, including those with rust, are often sold in bulk for low prices at local coin shops or auction houses. But the high demand for vintage coins means that even these pennies can gain value over time. Some collectors are specifically looking for worn or corroded coins to complete their sets or to have examples of all stages of wear in their collection. Let's take a closer look at why rusty pennies, like the 1945 Lincoln, are still valuable. Typically, rust and corrosion occur when coins are exposed to moisture or harsh environmental conditions. This can happen if a coin is left in an area with high humidity, or if it's exposed to salty air or water. Over time, this corrosion eats into the surface of the coin, often making it less visually appealing. But interestingly, coins in this condition are often valued differently based on the rarity of the particular coin and the collector's interest in that coin. While rust may lower the value slightly, it doesn't always dramatically change the overall worth of the coin, especially when you consider its rarity. The truth is, rust or not, these 1945 Lincoln wheat pennies without a mint mark are still highly collectible, especially if they are in original, uncleaned condition. The rust adds to the character of the coin, telling a story of how it has traveled through time and survived nearly a century in circulation. One of the most fascinating aspects of collecting pennies from this era is the potential for errors. While the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is not particularly known for striking errors, collectors still keep an eye out for interesting varieties that could make a coin more valuable. Errors in mintage, such as double strikes, misalignments, or incorrect die use, can make a particular coin worth far more than its face value. For example, if your 1945 Lincoln penny has a misstruck image or a doubling of the date or words, you could be looking at a coin worth several times more than a regular example, even if the penny is rusted or corroded. To give you an example, in 2018, a 1945 penny with a misaligned die sold for over $34,000 at auction. Though this is a rare occurrence, it shows that even a worn-out rusty coin can hold incredible value if it has any sort of minting defect. So what makes the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark in rusty condition, so valuable? It's a combination of rarity, historical significance, and the growing demand for vintage coins. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your coin journey, the 1945 Lincoln penny is an essential coin to keep an eye out for. Next up, the 1957 Abraham wheat penny, particularly the large date variety without a mint mark, holds a fascinating place in the world of American numismatics. While it may not be as well known as some other rare coins, its significance cannot be overstated. For coin collectors, this particular penny has a story that combines history, rarity, and a certain amount of mystery. By 1957, the wheat penny had undergone several changes, and the mint had moved to production of the coin under a different set of circumstances than those that surrounded its creation almost 5 decades earlier. The mid-20th century was a time of significant economic transformation in the United States as the country emerged from World War II and entered the Cold War era. The American economy was booming, and the coinage of the period was often reflective of this new era of prosperity. However, despite the growing wealth, pennies were still seen as essential to daily transactions, and the wheat cent remained in circulation. The 1957 wheat penny also has a distinct absence of a mint mark, which makes it a product of the Philadelphia Mint. Coins from Philadelphia are typically not marked with a mint mark, which makes them identifiable by their lack of a letter. Mint marks on pennies from other locations like Denver or San Francisco are marked with a D or S respectively. In terms of mintage, the 1957 wheat penny, both in the regular and large date varieties, was produced in large quantities by the U.S. Mint. The mintage of the 1957 penny was 1,035,161,000, which, in the context of coin collecting, might seem like a very high number. However, rarity isn't always tied to mintage. The 1957 large date penny is relatively scarce compared to its smaller date counterparts, and this scarcity is what drives its market value. The value of this penny can vary depending on several factors, such as condition, rarity, and collector interest. For most coins, being in mint or near mint condition increases their value significantly, and the 1957 large date penny is no exception. In a dirty condition, where the coin shows signs of heavy wear, tarnish, and dirt accumulation, the value may still be higher than you might expect. In the current auction market, a 1957 large date wheat penny in dirty condition can fetch anywhere between $15,000 depending on the extent of wear and the demand at the time. If cleaned or restored properly, the value of such a coin could rise substantially. However, collectors often prefer coins in their natural state, as cleaning can sometimes diminish the value of a coin by altering its patina. For collectors who are serious about the wheat penny series, the 1957 large date without a mint mark is a highly coveted item, even in less than pristine condition. It remains a popular choice in auctions and can command impressive prices depending on the specific details and the level of interest in the coin at the time of sale. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1957 Abraham wheat penny is the variety of errors and unusual characteristics that exist within the series. While most of these errors are more common in coins from earlier years, the 1957 penny is no stranger to the occasional flaw. For instance, some 1957 pennies exhibit what is known as a double die error, where the design on the obverse or reverse is duplicated due to a mistake in the die used to stamp the coin. This can result in an interesting and valuable variation of the coin. The double die error can often be spotted when the letters or numbers appear to be stacked or slightly offset, making them appear more pronounced. Finding a 1957 large date wheat penny with this error in dirty condition adds a whole new layer of value, as it is both a rare coin and a variant, with a flaw that collectors might find highly desirable. As with any error coin, the value can be influenced by its condition, rarity, and collector interest. In addition to doubled die errors, some 1957 pennies show signs of off-center strikes, or rim dings, further diversifying the coin's value. These imperfections can sometimes increase the worth of the coin due to their rarity and the unique nature of the error. The 1957 Abraham wheat penny, large date, no mint mark variety, holds a special place in the hearts of many collectors. While the coin was produced in massive quantities, the combination of historical significance, design features, and scarcity make it a coin that is highly sought after. As demand for these pennies increases, it's likely that prices will continue to fluctuate, especially with the added appeal of error coins or those in high-quality condition. For collectors, owning a 1957 wheat penny, especially one in excellent condition or with unique characteristics, offers both historical and monetary value. As always, the value of a coin is not only determined by its mintage, but also by the passion and interest of the numismatic community. Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat penny, especially with D mint mark, is one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. Though it may seem like a humble penny at first glance, this particular piece carries immense historical significance and value in today's auction markets. In fact, its value can soar into the thousands of dollars, even in dirty, worn-out conditions, making it a target for collectors and investors alike. Philadelphia No Mint Mark 1 billion, 354 million, 400,000 coins. Denver D Mint Mark 430 million, 578,000 coins. San Francisco S Mint Mark 282 million, 760,000 coins. While the total mintage is quite large, particularly for the Philadelphia variety, the D Mint Mark variety is still in high demand for collectors. Even though over 400 million were minted, this coin stands out due to its association with the wartime period and its historical significance. However, it's important to note that while a large number of these coins were produced, finding them in pristine or uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Coins in lower grades, particularly those that are worn or dirty due to prolonged circulation, still carry considerable value due to their historical and numismatic significance. One of the aspects that make the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny particularly exciting for collectors is the presence of a number of error varieties, which can drive the value of the coin even higher. The most famous error variety associated with this coin is the 1944 steel penny. This rare mistake occurred when a small number of 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel planchets from the 1943 steel cent production. These steel pennies are exceptionally rare, and when found, they can fetch extraordinary prices at auction, often reaching upwards of $100,000 or more, depending on the condition of the coin. However, most of the 1944 pennies, including the 1944 D variety, are not error coins and were struck using the standard copper composition. Still, the existence of these error pennies adds an element of intrigue for collectors, and it is often worth looking for any unusual characteristics in a 1944 penny that might indicate an error. Another factor that drives collector interest is the fact that the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, particularly in lower grades, has a distinctive aged look due to its age and the widespread circulation it underwent. Coins that are considered dirty or heavily worn can still hold substantial value, especially if they come from a reputable source or a well-known collection. Collectors of the 1944 D penny will also take into account the specific condition of the coin, as the market values these coins based on their grade. Coins that are well preserved even in the lower dirty grades can command a significant premium compared to others that are in poor condition. While a 1944 D penny in dirty condition may not fetch the astronomical prices of a pristine, error-free coin, its value is still substantial, especially in the auction market. As of recent sales, a typical 1944 D penny in very fine condition can sell anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000, depending on the specific details of the coin. In lower grades with more wear and dirt buildup, the price can range from $50,000. However, for coins that are well worn, collectors still see value in them due to their historical context and significance in the overall Lincoln wheat penny series. But don't be fooled. When a 1944 D penny is found in higher grades, it can easily reach several $100s in value. Coins in extra fine condition can sell anywhere from $55,000, and uncirculated examples can reach prices of $79,000 or more, depending on the quality and demand in the market. It's the dirty condition, or heavily worn coins that still hold some degree of collector interest because of the coin's inherent value, even if it has suffered from prolonged circulation. In the case of high-grade, uncirculated or error-free coins, such as the 1944 steel pennies or certain varieties with exceptional details, the value can rise dramatically, with auction sales reaching into the thousands of dollars. For example, a well-preserved 1944 D penny in MS-65 mint state condition recently sold at auction for over $48,000, while any example of the error-prone 1944 steel penny can easily fetch over $100,000 if the buyer is willing to pay that amount serious about adding it to their collection. Final thoughts on the 1944 D wheat penny. To summarize, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark is a highly valuable coin with rich historical significance. While the coin may not seem extraordinary at first glance, its mintage, design, error varieties, and collector interest make it one of the most sought-after pennies in the numismatic world. Whether it's a well-worn, dirty example or a highly graded specimen, this coin will always attract collectors due to its place in U.S. history. Next up, to truly appreciate the value of a 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, we need to first take a step back in time to understand its historical context. The year 1937 falls within the midst of the Great Depression, a period of significant economic turmoil that affected not only the United States but much of the world. The U.S. Mint, despite the difficult times, continued to produce the penny, which at the time was used widely for everyday transactions. In fact, pennies in the 1930s were often seen as the building blocks of small businesses and were essential in daily exchanges. As a result of the Depression, many coins during this era, including the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, were struck in relatively large quantities, making them less rare at first glance. However, the condition, unique features, and certain errors found in these coins have made them highly collectible and valuable to enthusiasts. Now let's discuss the mintage and market value of the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. In 1937, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, specifically about 1.1 billion Lincoln wheat pennies in total for circulation that year. However, it's important to note that the specific number of coins produced with and without a mint mark varies. This particular coin, the 1937 Lincoln penny without mint mark, is notable because it does not bear any mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The lack of a mint mark actually adds a unique aspect to the coin because it can be harder to find in pristine condition compared to other variations produced in different mints during the same year. While the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is not as rare as some other coins from the era, its value is driven largely by its condition and the collector market. Coins in poor condition, such as those found with dirt wear or tarnishing, are typically valued much lower than well-preserved examples. But even in a dirty condition, the 1937 penny can have a significant market value. So what does this mean for its value today? The value of a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in red color, dirty condition can still vary widely depending on the specifics of its state, collector demand, and any auction interest. At auction, depending on the degree of dirt or wear, this penny can fetch anywhere from $10,000. But for coins that have been particularly well preserved despite their dirty appearance, or those with some form of rare characteristic like unique wear patterns, the value could easily jump to higher figures, even reaching $16,000 or more in some cases. In a red color, the coin should have a smooth, coppery look with the natural reddish tint of copper. However, due to its dirty condition, this coin likely exhibits a more tarnished appearance, which can affect its value to a degree. Dirt oxidation or wear can obscure some of the fine details of the design, making this particular coin less desirable to some collectors. Nonetheless, it still has historical value and is a favorite for those who collect coins with imperfections. While the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is known for being widely circulated, some collectors seek out specific error coins, and this particular year has its own share of possible errors. Common errors seen in coins from this era include doubled dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. Though not particularly rare, in the 1937 series, some of these errors can significantly increase a coin's market value. For example, if the 1937 penny you come across has a noticeable doubled die on the obverse where Lincoln's features or the date appears more than once, that could make it more valuable than a standard coin of the same year. Similarly, if the penny has an off-center strike where the design is improperly aligned, collectors would find it appealing. For a coin in dirty condition, these types of errors become even more valuable due to the potential for the flaws to remain hidden. When an error coin is discovered in such a state, it can create substantial interest in the numismatic market. Collector interest in the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is relatively high even for pennies in dirty condition. Many collectors of Lincoln pennies focus on building complete sets, and owning a 1937 without mint mark is often a part of that set. As time goes on, the scarcity of certain years in different conditions combined with growing interest in the history of the Great Depression era keeps this coin in demand among collectors. In conclusion, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in red color. Dirty condition is an intriguing coin with a rich history and continued collector interest. Though its mintage was relatively high, the coin still holds significant value due to its historical context, design features, and the potential for finding errors. Next up, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, specifically the large date with the S mint mark, holds a significant place in the history of U.S. coinage. Struck by the U.S. Mint in San Francisco, this penny is part of the larger Lincoln wheat cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. During the early 20th century, the penny was a symbol of national pride, and the image of Abraham Lincoln gracing the front has become one of the most recognizable coin designs in U.S. history. In 1951, the U.S. Mint made a notable change in its penny production by introducing the large date variety, which was only issued in the later part of the year. While the coin may seem like just another penny, the 1951 large date with the S mint mark in circulated condition has become incredibly rare over the years, making it a sought-after piece by collectors and investors alike. So let's take a closer look at the coin's design, mintage, and the reasons why it commands such high prices at auction today. The 1951 large date variant features bold numbers with a wider spacing between the digits. This differentiates it from the 1951 small date, which was produced earlier in the year. The distinctively large numbers are one of the key features that collectors look for when identifying this rare variety. The S mint mark is located just below the date, indicating that this coin was minted at the San Francisco Mint. The mint mark is an essential feature that can affect the coin's value, as coins minted in smaller quantities or in specific mints are often more valuable due to their rarity. The 1951 S Lincoln wheat penny was minted in relatively high numbers compared to some other rare pennies. In total, the San Francisco Mint produced approximately 29,195,000 of these coins. However, as with any coin, the condition and quality of the coin play a massive role in its value. When it comes to circulated condition, the value of the 1951 S large date Lincoln penny can vary based on the degree of wear and the overall quality of the coin. In a fine or very fine condition, these coins can fetch anywhere from $9,000 at auction. However, in uncirculated or higher grades, where the coin retains much of its original luster and fine detail, its value can skyrocket. The value of a 1951 S large date Lincoln penny in MS 63, mint state 63, can reach up to $13,000 or more at auction. The highest auction price ever recorded for a 1951 S large date. Lincoln penny was for an MS 65 example, which sold for an impressive $15,000. This shows how condition can dramatically impact the value of a seemingly modest coin. Collectors and investors have also taken note of the fact that the 1951 S large date penny is one of the last of the wheat series before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. This makes it a popular choice for those wanting to complete their collection of Lincoln wheat pennies. Another reason for the 1951 S large date penny's high value is its status as an error coin in certain cases. There are a few variations of this coin that include subtle minting errors or anomalies that increase its rarity and value. For example, some 1951 large date pennies show doubled dies, where certain elements of the coin, like the date or lettering, appear to have been struck more than once. This creates a double image effect that is highly desirable among collectors. Finding one of these examples could increase the value of the coin to several $100s, depending on the quality and visibility of the error. Additionally, there are die cracks and die clashes that can sometimes appear on these coins, further increasing their appeal. Such features make these coins stand out as unique pieces in any collection, and they tend to command higher prices at auctions. The coin's scarcity, particularly in high grades, has made it a hot commodity in the market. The increasing interest in coin collecting, combined with the growing awareness of rare and valuable pennies like this one, has helped fuel demand for the 1951 large date. Auction prices have been consistently high in recent years, and the coin continues to attract collectors who value its historical and aesthetic significance. The demand for high-grade, error-free 1951 large date pennies shows no signs of slowing down, making this coin a wise investment for those looking to expand their collection or capitalize on the thriving coin market. Next up, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat. Penny holds an equally intriguing position in the world of numismatics, especially the large date with the D mint mark. This coin was part of the Lincoln Wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, and it carries its own unique set of historical and market-related factors. In 1955, the U.S. Mint continued its efforts to provide a strong symbol of the nation's heritage through coinage. As with the 1951 penny, the 1955 Lincoln penny also carried the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat stalks on the reverse, honoring the agricultural legacy of the United States. While the 1955 penny was struck in large quantities, it is the large date with the D mint mark variety that stands out, due to the distinct size of the date digits and the mint mark. Coins minted in Denver. D mint mark often have their own appeal, as the Denver Mint produced lower quantities of certain coins, making them rarer and more valuable than their counterparts from other mints. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny features the well-known design by Victor David Brenner, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front. The reverse features two stalks of wheat, continuing the agricultural theme that was synonymous with the Lincoln cent series. As with the 1951 coin, the large date variety stands out because of the bold, spaced-out digits of the year. These large numbers were the result of a change made later in the year, and they became a distinguishing factor of this specific type of penny. The D mint mark located just beneath the date identifies the coin as having been struck at the Denver Mint. The 1955 D Lincoln Wheat penny was produced in significant numbers with a total mintage of 278,170,000. However, in circulated condition, the value remains modest, typically ranging from $2 to $6 depending on wear and overall condition. Like the 1951 large date penny, the value of the 1955 D large date increases considerably when in uncirculated condition, especially if the coin shows minimal signs of wear. A high-grade MS-63 example might fetch anywhere between $30,000. But the real star of the 1955 D Lincoln penny is its error variety, which has made the coin truly famous in the world of numismatics. The 1955 double-die obverse penny, a variation that resulted from a striking error where the dies were misaligned, has gained widespread attention and high market value. The 1955 double-die penny features a strong doubling of the date and lettering, which is easily noticeable to the naked eye. This error coin is one of the most famous and valuable coins in the history of the Lincoln Wheat cent series. It has been known to sell for over $20,000 in high grades, depending on the quality and condition. The 1955 D large date penny in circulated condition typically does not have the same level of demand as its double-die counterpart. However, it remains a solid piece for collectors who appreciate its historical value and the importance of the Lincoln cent series. That's all for today's deep dive into two of the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat pennies. The 1951 large date penny and the 1955D large date penny. These coins are not just currency, they're pieces of history. And for collectors, they represent both an investment and a treasure trove of American culture. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming coin breakdowns. Do you have either of these pennies in your collection? Or maybe you've come across one of these rare error varieties. Let us know in the comments below. Next up, the 1954 large date. Wheat penny with an S mint mark is an extremely important coin in the world of numismatics, primarily because of its unique combination of historical context, design features, and its increasing rarity and good condition. The Lincoln wheat cent, which was minted from 1909 to 1958, was introduced as part of a new series that featured the image of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was designed by the renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner, who was tasked with creating the coin's design. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln has become iconic and was eventually used on the U.S. penny until the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The 1954 coin is part of a later run in the wheat penny series and holds special significance for collectors. The key feature that sets the 1954 large date apart is the S mint mark. Mint marks are small letters that are stamped onto coins to indicate where they were produced. In the case of the 1954 wheat penny, the S refers to the San Francisco Mint, which struck these coins. Mint mark variations play an important role in determining the rarity and value of a coin, with S mint marks typically being rarer than coins minted in Philadelphia, which did not include a mint mark. The 1954 penny was minted during a period of post-World War II prosperity in the United States. After the war, the economy saw significant growth, and the demand for currency increased. The U.S. Mint had to keep up with the demand, resulting in the production of billions of coins throughout the 1950s. The 1954 issue was a part of this larger coinage process. However, because this particular coin has a relatively low mintage for its year and was produced at the San Francisco Mint, it became scarce over time, especially in higher grades. The 1954 large date is particularly interesting for collectors because of its unique design. The large date variety refers to the style in which the numbers 1 and 9 of the year were struck on the coin. The large date was produced for a limited period before being replaced with a smaller version, which makes the large date variety rarer and more desirable. This adds to the appeal of the 1954 large date wheat penny in good condition, as fewer of these were minted. The 1954 S mint mark wheat penny is not as common as some other years in the series, but it is by no means one of the rarest coins in the wheat penny collection. Despite the relatively high mintage, the demand for high-grade examples continues to push the value of these coins upward, especially those in good condition or higher. The value of a 1954 large date wheat penny with an S mint mark in good condition can vary greatly depending on several factors, including its rarity, condition, and current market trends. In today's auction market, the 1954 large date wheat penny with an S mint mark in good condition could fetch anywhere from $18,000, with higher quality coins being worth even more. However, in rare instances where a particularly well-preserved coin is discovered, the price can soar much higher. It's important to note that the market for collectible coins is always fluctuating, so prices can change over time based on demand, rarity, and other factors. Coins that are preserved well over time are often more valuable than those that show signs of wear and tear, which is why condition plays such an important role in determining their market price. One notable design feature of the 1954 large date variety is the way the numbers 1 and 9 of the year appear larger and more prominent compared to the smaller date variety. This larger size of the digits in the year helps distinguish this variety from other pennies minted that same year. Collectors are always on the lookout for any errors or unique features in coins that can enhance their value. While the 1954 S mint mark wheat penny is not particularly known for having major errors, there are some interesting variations and die errors that can add to the value of the coin. For example, if a coin has misstruck letters or a shifted die, this could significantly increase its value. Moreover, as more and more collectors become aware of the potential for coins, like the 1954 large date with the S mint mark, to appreciate in value over time, the demand for these coins has increased. With a limited number of these coins still in circulation and in good condition, it's clear that the 1954 large date wheat penny has become a prized possession for numismatists and collectors alike. Next up, we have the 1942 large date wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin is another key player in the world of Lincoln wheat pennies, but it has some unique characteristics that make it highly sought after. Unlike the 1954 coin, which had an S mint mark indicating it was minted in San Francisco, the 1942 coin was minted in Philadelphia, which did not include a mint mark. Despite the lack of a mint mark, this coin is significant because of the historical events surrounding its creation and the fact that it is part of a tumultuous period in U.S. history. The year 1942 was a pivotal moment in American history. The United States was deeply involved in World War II, and the economy was shifting dramatically. In response to the war, the U.S. Mint made adjustments to its coinage production, and the general public was more focused on war-related matters rather than everyday transactions. The demand for pennies during this period was high, but the actual mintage numbers from the Philadelphia Mint were substantial. However, because many of these coins were circulated heavily during wartime, they did not survive in pristine condition. This makes the 1942 large date wheat penny, without a mint mark, in fine condition particularly valuable, as it is rarer in higher grade examples. The 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark was produced in significant numbers, but it is still highly collectible today. When we talk about the value of the 1942 large date wheat penny in fine condition, we are typically referring to a coin that is relatively well preserved with noticeable wear, but still retains key design details. In today's auction market, a 1942 large date wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition could be worth anywhere from $4 to $10. If the coin is in excellent condition or displays exceptional features, the value could rise to $30 or more. The relatively low price compared to the 1954 S Mint coin can be attributed to the higher mintage numbers and the widespread circulation of the 1942 penny, which means fewer high-quality examples have survived. The 1942 large date wheat penny shares the same basic design as other wheat pennies. The obverse features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse side depicts two stalks of wheat. The 1942 coin is unique for its date. The large date variety is characterized by the large 1 and 9, which stand out more than in the small date version. This stylistic change was part of a series of modifications made during the 1940s to create more distinct date representations. The absence of a mint mark on the 1942 coin places it in a slightly different category than its S mint-marked counterparts, making it more identifiable as a Philadelphia minted coin. The 1942 large date wheat penny is relatively free from major minting errors. However, there are instances where the coin's die may have experienced some wear, causing minor inconsistencies in the coin's strike. Collectors also look for unusual patinas or other features that could enhance the rarity of the coin. While these pennies are not as rare as some of their counterparts, they still hold great appeal for collectors due to their historical significance, design features, and the ongoing interest in wartime coinage. Thanks for watching this episode of Rare Pennies. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more detailed coin analysis. Let us know in the comments if you own any of these valuable pennies or if there's another coin you'd like us to explore.